It's the Wolf Media Festival podcast. Today's guests. From the monthly award-winning script, Heart of Love, writer, Gae Cristiano. And now, here's your hosts, Richard Wilmore and Jacquelynn Wolfheart.
Let's do this. Welcome, everyone, to the Wolf Media Fest podcast. I'm Richard Wilmore. Are you?
And I'm Jacquelynn Wolfheart.
Thank you. It's like, you're here. I swear you're here. Our guest today is a living testament to turning life's toughest challenges into powerful, award-winning art. When life hands you a divorce, a car accident, and a career pivot after 15 years, most people start a support group. But Gae Cristiano started writing a crime drama that would win a Wolf Media Festival Award for Best Screenplay Crime Drama. His script, Heart of Love, is a masterpiece of non-linear storytelling, an identity-searching, FBI-filled tale of first love, and a certified festival favorite. Please help me welcome the incredibly talented Gae Cristiano. Hello.
Welcome.
How are you all?
Fantastic. How are you?
Doing fantastic. It's a crazy day.
Yeah, it's been. Thank you for inviting me and giving me the chance to speak about this script, which is very dear to me, as it covers part of my life in a temporal manner. And it was like a therapeutic exercise after I was seeing a shrink to get over a dark period, which included divorce. I was just writing down notes, and I just realized, why me? It looks like a movie. So I needed to learn how to write a script. And the more I was writing, and the more I would realize there's so many things that happen that would sound not really believable to an audience. So I had the reverse problem of not making stuff up, but getting stuff out to make it more believable. And I got a perfect compromise at the end. And now there is a revised fifth amendment of the script, which is a non-linear event story, which starts with the accent of Connor, which is the main character of it. I'm really, really glad you enjoyed it, because it was my first shot without any experience. And it wasn't I'm not a scriptwriter, I know I intend to be. It was a letting go exercise, letting go your first love, of the fear of the things you long for so many years. It did work. It served the purpose. So while people long for fame and becoming a scriptwriter, I really don't care. For me, it was like, here you go, goodbye to the memory which has been tracked in my brain for 3 decades, I guess.
So I'm curious, what made you go straight to a script? I feel like a lot of people would maybe jump to a book or a novel first. What made you go to a script before a book?
Because I realized I was telling the story better from a visual perspective. I was imagining things, and the word came flowing really easily when I was picturing and imagining situation like scenes of a movie, while I was really attempting writing a book. But then again, I didn't have the same feeling, the same impact. It seems like my emotions were very dry when I was writing. While if writing a script, I guess, I could convey a message to the general public. And although it's a message from me personally, letting go, I think it can be quite powerful. So that's why I was more capable of doing the script than a book.
This was your first screenplay, right?
Indeed, yeah.
What I'm curious, like, how you started that process? Like, what did you Google? Did you AI? Like, how do you write a screenplay? Like, what were your first steps in even doing this?
I downloaded the script Riders of the Lost Ark, 1981, the first Indiana Jones. So I see what is the voiceover and the structure. Then I see the font, and I went from there. So I self-taught myself with the script of Indiana Jones, the first one.
I actually can relate to that too. A lot of times, like, I might have done research on scripting, but looking at other scripts and how they format is how I've learned better to write scripts. So that's so funny. I'm glad I'm not alone in that.
Yeah, it's good. The problem I had when I was using Google to to get some kind of help or describe some certain scenario with AI. It didn't feel real, so it was breaching the narrative because my way of speaking is different from an AI or Google way of speaking. So I wasn't getting there. So what I did, I was picturing the way people or actors are speaking in various movies. I give the tone and the tempo, and it practically self-taught totally. Yeah, my first shot. Yeah, if you, I don't know, you had the chance to look at the revised copy. It is way better. It follows a not non-linear structure, and the temporal arches are connected way better. So it's a way solid script. Yeah, much better work. The latest version. Yeah.
How many times have you like? I know for books they go through many edits, and so I'm curious, like how long it took until you were like, okay, this is done, and now you're going back to revise it. Like what provoked you to do that?
Some festival came back that they loved the script, but there were too many typos. Others were the voiceover and the description weren't following a certain pattern they should have in a script. So I needed to, as the judge were giving their feedback, some of the feedback were structural as well. So the intent was you need to rewrite in a certain manner. So there was the second, the third, and then I thought the story looked like three stories: the relationship with my father, the love, which has impacted my first love, which has impacted my life throughout, and of course the things that have occurred in my life, but they look like three temporal stories. So by the time I was amending the script, I was adding stuff to connect the dots, so it looks like a linear, beautiful storytelling overarching 3 decades. Yeah.
So we've gotten the next revision from you, and it's now non-linear. Are you continuing to revise even though you're submitting to festivals, and you're going to just keep revising until?
No, that's the final one.
That was the final one. So you've let go now. You've decided this is it, and
now I let go. That's the final one, unless some festival come back with something structural or some typos of some sort. But if you do read this final part, it's way more punchy, way more human. It's more attached to people sentiments that they could feel when they see it potentially on the screen one day, if it does hopefully occur, or if they read the script. Yeah.
I was just going to say, I know it's getting well received by many festivals and outlets, and obviously it won one of our awards. How does that feel for your first stab at us writing a screenplay?
It's difficult to answer because the aim of this exercise was to letting go. It wasn't to get prize or to become a screenwriter. So the positive feedback is not really building an ego or really, I mean, I'm pleased, of course, as everybody would, but it's really secondary. I really don't care. For me, the exercise is letting go if possibly this story reaching the screen one day. So the more positive feedback would be, let's say, a tool to sell the script better, to have his final goal, which is hitting an audience one day, hopefully. But to answer your question, I don't feel particularly, let's say, uplifted because I'm not a screenwriter. I don't want to be one. But it feels good because it tells me, hey, you're good at something. Yeah.
Is that why you put it into festivals, to get feedback, to get an audience there? Like you were saying, like, I don't do it for, my ego. I don't do it for I'm not a screenwriter. So I'm curious, like why you decided to put it into festivals.
Feedback, first of all.
Yeah.
See how good I was in the first stab of it. So again, it wasn't a feeding ego exercise. It was just curiosity, human curiosity. And also because I know to sell a script, potentially, you need to go through many festivals. So it's also like a kind of strategic maneuver. So let's say you do well, you may land to some, agent that could sell the script. And again, if it does become a movie one day, hopefully, it's about, a planetary letting go rather than, a normal therapeutical things. It could hit the screen, and this was my goodbye to a former life. Yeah, but that's the main aim: is the peculiar and the chief aim is to letting go. Yeah.
So you mentioned that you don't like your goal isn't to become a screenwriter though. So what is your goal in life? What do you want to be when you grow up?
When I grow up, well, that's never the answer. But anyway, if and when I grow up, I'm quite content with the job I'm doing. I'm a national head of compliance. I work very hard academically and in terms of career structure to reach where I am today. And I had a stab at a second screenwrite, which is, I wrote a second one, by the way, in that period, which I don't know if to send it to festival or no. It's about, originally started about a critique of a left-wing ideology, set during the disco scene in London during the 70s and the 80s. He's a school teacher where was teaching in Oxford, and he lost his job and wrote this kind of, let's say, not a novel, a critique of how life was better in the 80s, where, you know, the LGBTQT ethos didn't have to be, you know, a punchline. People didn't have to be branded like something. It was like these disco vibes where everybody from gay to lesbian can meet and have fun without being labeled, a sense of freedom, in a sense of belonging, that we are one, that we are all together. And the critique of this Oxford professor is saying, look, it was more real before when we thought it wasn't, than now that we need to label things. And in the script is called the soul system, which is, you know, all the soul are interconnected and they need to be labeled. So it's a kind of this critique through this movie and this professor going through a life crisis, really.
Is that based on anything real that you know of, or you just had the idea?
It's a conversation I had. It was originally between, it was envisaged between a conversation in a pub between the Adam Sandler kind of guy and the Woody Allen kind of guy. So two different worlds colliding. One is perceived as an idiotic way of expressing fun and emotion. Another one is a left-wing writer, which is passing message, which I think they are overrated. So, but it didn't sound politically correct, so I need to change it. I need to change it over to the scenery. Is the background of it is this Oxford professor that loses his job. He's got a temporal interchanging interface between his day at Oxford and the present day, where he lost his job, and he was approached by BBC to have a program or a documentary and a movie. I think you call it a docu-movie, done on him, in the soul system, all his ethos, what he meant by this. So he recovered fame from being fired from Oxford, from being often outspoken. And there is this friendship between this journalist, which is interviewing him and filming him and shooting him, and try to understand what is the soul system, and why the London scene or the disco of the 70s and the 80s were much better than today's world, where everything needs to be labeled and go into a process of identification, while before it was like a gelling, a coming together of soul, hence the soul system. But it's only 40 pages, so it's a many things.
I'm curious where you were or what you were doing when you found out you won the Wolf Media Fest award.
I don't do much really, apart from going to work, sometimes to the gym. So I probably would have lying on my bed and having an email, let's say, looking at the latest football results. And well, you want to meet him. I was really, really surprised. I was jumping, of course, because I was really, really pleasantly surprised. And I was not expecting. I'm not the kind of guy that's okay. I send the script, is going to win everything. I'm completely the opposite. I'm a realist. I'm not a pessimist or an optimist. I'm trying to keep things real, really. And I was really happy.
Guy, I hate to break it to you, but you've written 2 scripts now. One of them is winning awards. I think you might be a screenwriter. I mean, I'm just going to throw that out there. I think it might be a title that you need to throw out there.
Put it on your resume.
Yep.
The problem is I don't think it will land really well, but the problem is I was inspired because the script is telling Heart of Love, the story of my life. The second one is telling a political view I have, whereby my rationale for approaching life is we are all equal and we don't need labeling. We should all come together as one total soul that lives on earth and breathe without labeling in terms of sexual orientation or political belonging. So I took everything out ahead in there. So the reason why I think I succeeded in completing this two script is because I have a lot to say that come from inside, but now I'm dry. So if I need to attempt to write something, I don't have this spark because I don't know where to find the motivation and the material for it. So I guess the difference between a real screenwriter and I is that they could find material is also the inspiration. I wrote about myself, which is easy. You got the material, you got the scene, you got the temporal arch of 3 decades, and then a smaller script, which is actually describing what do you think, what is your view of the current political status. But if I need to write something now, I don't have the inspiration to do it, or I don't have maybe the capability. This is the difference between a professional screenwriter and someone like me, which is an amateur, which is they can feel and think and putting into my life.
Well, I think the more you write, though, the better you get at explaining your feelings. And so if you just have an idea about, the first time you got a dog and you decide to write about that as a story, but then you write so much, you start adding the feeling, as you practice. Practice makes perfect, right?
It's true. But it's inspirational. At the moment, I don't feel inspired to write a third one. I think it should come from the heart. It should come from the soul to do something which is meaningful to you, rather than, okay, let's do a third one because I may know possibly how to write, and let's bank on it. I don't think that's the way it works, for me at least.
Yeah. You'll get inspired because you're an artist. It feels like you're an artist. So when it happens, that's when you're going to want to. I'm curious because I'm not a screenwriter and I'm not a filmmaker. What are next steps, or have you taken steps into taking it from a screenplay into making it a film? Is it just now getting it out there until someone finds it, or what is that process?
Exactly. What I've been told by people that are in the industry is like the more festival you win, the more chances are for the script to be looked at by serious agents, or they potentially could buy the script or had the script made. So that's the process I'm following because, as I said, it would be a good story to be told. I think it's quite cinematic. I think it could reach the heart of many people in the audience. It's something that really occurred, and it's a story of redemption. And I think usually movies always go with a punchline and some moral that you need to learn, and you need to read in between the line. I think you can get 2 or 3 life lessons or morals from a script that I wrote, and it could sit well with different kinds of people, and they can come with any conclusion of what I meant with this script and what it means to them. Yeah.
Yeah, I think a big part, though, too, with the submitting to the festivals is going to them in person to network. I know you're way across the world from where we are, but any of them that are local to you, I highly suggest going and networking because that gets more eyes on your script than even winning awards. So highly recommend go local network if you can.
Yeah, it's something I'm thinking about trying. It's also about the commitment of working schedule and seeing my kids. But this is something I was thinking of doing or networking. And funnily enough, I think I entered 2 festivals in the UK, and the script wasn't selected. It seems like the festival in America I like it even more than the one down here.
Interesting.
But then again, if you read the script, it's more resonant with the Italian American and the Americans, kind of movie set and kind of lifestyle than it is from a UK perspective.
Yeah, I think our number one industry in America is probably entertainment. So we're like fishing for that stuff all the time. We got the best movie, or I don't know if we have the best, but we make so many movies. We make so many TV shows and famous singers come out of here, famous comedians come out of here, or Canada, I think, as well. So I think that maybe that's why we're just looking for more.
We also love drama, and so
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
We do love the drama.
if people are interested in connecting with you, to just connect with you in general, or if they want to bring your screenplay to life, what's the best way that people can do that out there?
Yeah, the social media, I guess. I'm on Instagram or LinkedIn, and I'm quite well known in the industry where I work for, so I'm easily reachable, I guess.
Okay, good.
I don't have an ad hoc Instagram or Facebook account bespoke for the screenplay area of my life now. So just Google my name. I'll come up.
Okay. Well, and I don't think I trusted us to pronounce his first name correctly, so I just want to throw that out there, and I want you to pronounce it so we actually know.
Gae Cristiano. Yeah, but it's Guy, because when I moved from Italy in the UK, there was always this distortion of the name. So I said, okay, screw it, just call me Guy. It's easier.
That's going to be the title of this episode. Screw it, just call me Guy. I like that.
No, I think it's such a beautiful name.
I love it. Thank you so much for being here, and congratulations.
Yeah. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you very, very much for having me. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Keep on writing.
Yeah.
Wolf Media Festival Podcast with Richard Wilmore and Jacquelynn Wolfheart. Produced and edited by me. I'm Jacquelynn Wolfheart. Don't forget to check out the links in the description to find ways you can connect with our guests. Thanks for checking us out today and tuning in every week wherever you get your podcasts.